We drove 6 whole hours just to see this dance. This. Come along.
Now, we set off from Abidjan around 11 a.m. and we spent about 3 hours 30 minutes to get to Yamoussoukro, which is the capital of Ivory Coast. Now, from Yamoussoukro to this town, we spent another 2 hours on the road. Now, mind you, the road from Yamoussoukro to this town was not so great and there were hardly any cars on the road, which made it even scarier. But the result was amazing and justified the means. Where there's a will, there's a way. Allons-y!
Finally! For 2 extra hours.
Yeah.
It took 2 hours to get to. The sun is almost setting and it's been a long journey, but fingers crossed it will be worth it.
When we got there, according to custom, you have to greet, which is actually typical in my culture as a Ghanaian as well. You sit, you're given water to drink, and then you state your purpose or your reason for being there. Now, the only downside to this was only a man had to state the purpose. It's typical of most African cultures, but still felt a bit weird. The Zaouli dance, and today we're going to be unmasking behind the mask of West Africa's most famous dance and what it typically looks like, where it came from, and about a girl it was created for. I genuinely was not prepared for any of it. Let's go. This is the Zaouli. It belongs to the Guro people of Ivory Coast from a small region called Baouflé, which is north of Yamoussoukro, the country's capital. Before the Zaouli existed, the Guro people were relatively unknown outside their own communities. This dance has changed that completely. In 2017, UNESCO added it to the representative list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity, a small region in central Ivory Coast, on the World Heritage List, all because of this one dance.
Yeah, you give 500, 1,000, what is that?
The Zaouli dance was inspired by a young Guro girl whose name was Djela Lou Zaouli. In the Guro language, that translates to the lion's daughter. And she was known in her community for her exceptional beauty, not just in how she looked, but in how she moved and carried herself. So she captivated everyone around her. They created a mask in her likeness and a dance to honor her. Interesting thing, the dance is only performed by men, and the tradition is usually passed from family to family. When we asked while we were there, we were told that he had the person who danced this dance while we were there, had it passed on to him from his family, and he had been doing it for a number of years. On average, it can take up to 7 years to reach the level needed to perform publicly. When the dancer arrives at the arena, in this case, this was a performative dance for us, just to show the culture. The dancer's mask is covered in a woven cloth, and he's guided by a personal guardian. Now, notice this. He doesn't do this alone because he's covered and he cannot see. So the guardian is with him, directing, protecting, and leading the crowd, and also giving him tips, which we noticed a lot because the guardian that we saw was kept moving the tree that was right above us, just so that the dancer would not fall. The dancer is supposed to be on a psychological duel with his audience the entire time, and he's supposed to be moving and keeping in some kind of dynamics. Unfortunately for us, I don't think that we had this. There were some repeated I noticed, but in the end, after the dance, we were told that the dancer was unwell as he had fallen off a motorbike. And I felt so bad that I had experienced this because I didn't know that he was sick, and I don't know why he was pushed to do that. But regardless of which mask a dancer wears, the Guro people believe that when the dancer puts it on, he is no longer himself. A spirit enters him and his body becomes a vessel. I was here as a tourist, and so this was planned beforehand. It was fascinating, so much so that I was just fixated on the dancer throughout, and the drums were so loud. It felt very familiar because I am also from West Africa, Ghana, and we have our own culture. And seeing the culture being portrayed in that way, it was exhilarating. With the drums so loud, I could actually almost feel it in my chest. Like, I could not stand still. I just had to move. And this is actually what culture looks like when it decides that something is worth protecting. Glad I had this experience, and you should too. See you.